Just days into 2018 free agency, former Pelicans big man DeMarcus Cousins announced that he would be signing a mid-level exception deal with a team that was already the best in the league and had won 3 of the last 4 NBA championships, the Golden State Warriors. With a player of his caliber joining a team that was already arguably the most talented in the history of the league, many people began screaming and yelling about how the NBA had just been ruined, whether it be by Cousins' decision or Adam Silver's inability to smooth out the cap spike of 2016 that allowed Kevin Durant to join the Warriors and thus lead to them becoming even better by signing Boogie. There just wasn't much of a point in watching the 2018-19 season. But the thing is, if you're only watching the NBA to find out who the best team is and who will win the championship, then you're missing out on so much of the good stuff. So here are 5 reasons why the upcoming NBA season is still worth watching. Number 1. LeBron and the meme team. In what was unquestionably the biggest move of the offseason, LeBron James decided to leave his hometown Cavaliers for the second time and join the LA Lakers. This was always going to be an interesting storyline to watch, how James would adapt and mold his game to a new roster built mostly around younger players and a young head coach. But as free agency has progressed, it's gotten much more interesting to say the least. In order to maintain their 2019 cap space that could be used to bring in another star, the front office set out signing a quality supporting cast to 1-year deals, which is a solid idea, but has resulted in one of the most intriguing rosters in NBA history. LeBron is now playing alongside not only talented young players like Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, and Josh Hart, but also polarizing names such as Rajon Rondo, Lance Stevenson, JaVale McGee, and the most recent addition, Michael Beasley. Each of these guys have their own merits on the court. Rondo and Lance as playmakers, McGee is a high-energy rebounder, rim protector, and lob finisher, and Beasley is a scorer. But when you consider each of their past moments in the league, with more than a few of them directly related to LeBron, this group has the potential for some truly entertaining moments, thus earning themselves the nickname the Meme Team. Just having James play for a new team would have been reason enough to watch the Lakers this season, as would monitoring the development of their younger players. But with the added level of intrigue provided by their free agency class, they might just be the team to watch this season. Number 2, the playoff race in the West. Last season featured one of the craziest playoff races I've ever seen in an NBA season, as beyond the top 2 seeds in the West being nailed down as Houston and Golden State, the rest of the conference was as unpredictable as it gets. The 3rd and 9th seeds were only separated by 3 games, and the 8th and final seed came down to a winner-takes-all game on the final night of the regular season. Not only that, but 9 Western Conference teams had a record better than all but the top 5 seeds in the East. But if last year was a wild ride, then this upcoming season might be even better. A number of teams in the West that didn't make the playoffs last year made some significant improvements this offseason. The Lakers obviously added LeBron, the Mavs brought in DeAndre Jordan, the Nuggets' young players will be 1 year better, and the Clippers added some young talent in the backcourt while bringing in Marcin Gortat at the 5 spot. Not only that, but the middle of the conference improved a good amount as well. The Spurs did lose Kawhi Leonard, but he barely played last year anyway, and they're replacing that void with DeMar DeRozan. The Thunder had a much better than expected offseason by bringing back Paul George, while also adding Dennis Schroeder and Nerlens Noel, while the Pelicans brought in Julius Randle to make up for the loss of DeMarcus Cousins. You can argue the merits of some offseason moves that were made compared to others, but the bottom line is that there are probably between 10 to 12 legit playoff teams in the West when healthy. Heck, if Memphis gets healthy even, they could make some noise. And the only 2 teams I feel 100% confident won't make the playoffs in the West are the Suns and Kings, though both should be improved over last season. All in all, a conference in which 13 of the 15 teams could roll out a playoff quality roster on paper next season is definitely worth watching. Number 3, the healthy Celtics and Raptors versus the Warriors. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, the biggest gripe most people have about next season is it almost feels like we already know what's going to happen before we watch it. The Golden State Warriors are once again going to win the NBA championship. And although it is true that they have the best roster in the league and could very well steamroll their way through the league once again, the Eastern Conference has 2 teams that, on paper, have a better chance of providing us with a quality NBA Finals matchup than the Cavs did this past season. With Kawhi Leonard now north of the border, and most of the core of last season's franchise record-setting team intact beyond DeMar DeRozan and Jakob Poeltl, Raptors fans have a lot to look forward to this season. If Kawhi is fully healthy, which I understand is a big if, He's one of the top 5 players in the entire league, and no offense to DeMar DeRozan, but that's a huge upgrade from where their best player sat in the league hierarchy 1 season ago. When combined with Kyle Lowry and OG Anunoby, Toronto has the makings of a fantastic defensive team, so long as they find the necessary rim protection to go along with their talented perimeter defenders. With their combination of roster depth and newfound star power, they should be one of the top 2 teams in the East next season, with the ability to potentially take a few games off the Warriors in a final series, which is more than the Cavs were able to do this past season. Not only that, but if you're looking at things from the angle of wanting the most competitive final series possible, the Raptors might not even be the team best equipped to give the Warriors trouble in a 7-game series. The Boston Celtics nearly made the finals last year without 2 of their best players, Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward. And with a fully healthy roster, they might have the best group in the entire league to possibly win a series against the defending champs. They have a ton of versatile wings to switch everything defensively, one of the best defensive bigs in the league in Al Horford, and a handful of big-time offensive threats headlined by Irving. With another year of development for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, our hopes for a team other than the Warriors to be crowned champions might rest solely on the shoulders of the Boston Celtics, while at the very least we should get to experience an awesome ride through the Eastern Conference playoffs, with Boston, Toronto, and even Philadelphia all fighting to be the first Eastern Conference team in almost a decade to make the finals without LeBron James on the roster. Number 4, up-and-coming young teams to watch. Having given the first 3 reasons, and many of them being related to the postseason, maybe that just isn't your thing because in your mind, the Warriors have completely ruined that part of the year competitively. Well, if that's the case, then don't worry, as there are a number of teams to watch in the regular season that provide entertaining action on a near nightly basis. The Bulls, for example, just signed Jabari Parker and re-signed Zach LaVine to big deals to complement their current core of Chris Dunn, Lauri Markkanen, and rookie Wendell Carter Jr. Even if you don't think Parker is a great fit in that 5-man group, it still will be a hugely interesting combination to watch grow and develop moving forward. Both LaVine and Parker have been 18+ point per game scorers on bad teams in the past, so it'll be interesting to see how they can play off of each other in an effort to try and bring some wins to the Windy City. Then you've got another up-and-coming young team in Phoenix with an overabundance of wings in TJ Warren, Josh Jackson, Trevor Ariza, and Mikal Bridges, complementing newly re-signed max player Devin Booker and rookie number 1 overall pick DeAndre Ayton. I don't think they'll be challenging for a playoff berth in the West next year, but they should play an up-and-down style that will make them a league pass favorite for many. Their current lack of a starting caliber point guard is concerning, but there's always a chance, however small, that Brandon Knight returns to form and gives them a boost, while Booker has shown some playmaking abilities in that spot in the past as well. The list goes on and on. Dallas has an exciting young backcourt with Luka Doncic and Dennis Smith Jr., Trae Young will be a name to watch in Atlanta, and my personal top spot in the League Pass rankings resides in Denver. The point is, no matter what night it is throughout the regular season, there will be intriguing matchups to watch for anyone from NBA junkies like myself to more casual viewers that just want to see entertaining basketball. Number 5, the next man up in the East. The last reason on this list has been a common talking point since LeBron James took his talents to the Western Conference. Who is now the best player in the East? You can argue all you want, but until we see these guys play without LeBron in their way, it will be too difficult and too early to tell. Common names such as Kyrie Irving, Giannis, and Joel Embiid are in the conversation, but you never know who could have a breakout season and put themselves in contention as well. The big wild card here is Kawhi Leonard, who, when healthy, would probably be at or near the top of the East, but as always, that's a big if. One thing that is certain, however, is it will be extremely interesting to see how these guys perform with these new expectations, and who among that group could potentially come away with their first MVP award as a result. I doubt anyone on the Warriors will garner enough attention to be in the running. Russell Westbrook and James Harden both suffer from having recently won the award, and LeBron James would have to do something truly spectacular for him to be voted as the winner over a player that hasn't won it yet. Giannis was an MVP frontrunner for a good amount of the first half of the season last year, and each of those guys I mentioned earlier have the talent level to make it happen. Following this storyline throughout the year will provide that extra bit of intrigue to the season if somehow you're not interested by any of the other reasons I've mentioned on this list. And there you have it, 5 reasons why this NBA season is going to be awesome, despite the DeMarcus Cousins ruined the NBA popular opinion. Next up is my second 2018-19 team season preview on Wednesday, and this week the topic will be the Boston Celtics, so stay tuned for that. My name is Tucker, this has been Sporting Logically. If you missed any of my previous Monday, Wednesday, Friday videos, check out the boxes on screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.